He- Hello. Welcome to another episode of My Healthy Story. I'm Mandi Palmer. I'm a holistic health and wellness coach. And My Healthy Story, the mission is to spread hope and information and awareness of different ways how people have healed themselves from different things. So today I am here with the lovely Lois Hollis, who is a shame and guilt solution expert and a trailblazer. So, Lois, welcome. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Mandi. It's a pleasure to share my experiences that have and will always help other people.
Yes. So, please share with us a little bit about yourself and how you spend your time.
How I spend my time is I love to ski, snow ski. I love to visit my grandkids. I love to visit my family. I love to dance. And I love to investigate other forms of therapies and treatments on the internet and talk to people. I'm always searching for other people's experiences as what you're doing. So it was very delighted to be able to share what I have learned over the years. I've always been in the medical health field. I am now 74 years of age, and I've been in the medical health field since I'm 12. And I will always be in the health field because if you don't have your health, I always felt that you really don't have anything.
I totally agree with you there. Yeah. So I know you've shared with me a little bit about your health journey. So share with us now a little bit about your top 3 health challenges.
Well, my top 3 health challenges was mainly to stay alive long enough to raise, because I was told that I would not live past 45 or 50, and I wanted to be able to raise my children. That was the biggest health challenge. Now, the health challenge why I was not doing well was because I was severely abused as a child, which led to many. I contracted mitral valve prolapse. I'm sure people are aware of the mitral valve of the heart. Had a leaky valve and scoliosis that compromised my breathing ability. I had severe headaches for 30 years, migraines, and I was on various medications for that. So after 30 years, your kidneys really and liver don't really do too well.
Right.
You don't have to have a scientific example of that. You just know. And I knew I was dying because I was a kidney dialysis nurse. I know that people don't live long on medicine. And so my days were limited. So that was my biggest health challenge. I wanted to stay alive.
So usually I have people rate their different symptoms and things on a scale of 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you rate those and how severe they were? They sound pretty severe.
Well, my migraine headaches were probably the worst situation to have. And I would say a 10 because I was sincerely incapacitated without medication. Today, I understand why I had migraines. I had several brain injuries and broken neck that were contributing to the migraine. So I would say that was a 10.
And anything else you'd want to rate at its worst?
Well, a leaky valve is not too good to have.
Right, that's probably a 10.
That's not too good. And
right, and like you shared of wanting to stay alive, so that right there says the level of severity where.
And I knew that there was always a way. I did not know it, but I knew it internally.
So tell us in a little bit more detail what it was like at the time living with these things and how it impacted your life.
Well, I was able to go day to day with my experiences. I had a near-death experience as a child, so I felt like I had a opening to God, to universe. to another plane of consciousness. So that always kept me going, knowing that I could draw on the energy. And I really do that
Oh, we
energy
lost
that
you for
kept
a
me alive,
second. I
because
didn't hear
people
what you
were
just
amazed
said.
that, pardon?
I said we lost you just for a second. You went out, so we lost
And
what
I
you just
really
said.
feel like that spiritual awareness had kept me going, even though my physical body was not happy. I had a strong spiritual sense. And I do believe that a spiritual awareness is very, very important in the healing. You can take all the drugs and the vitamins and the adjustments and so forth, but
Right.
I believe that our spiritual soul has to give us the spiritual energy in order to find what we need.
Right. So, what sort of modalities did you try for your migraine? Did you try anything other than drugs or medications?
Well, I was entrenched in the medical field. My ex-husband was
Mhm.
a physician, and I knew all the physicians in the area, so um, that was the only thing that did help me. They called it clustered migraine headaches.
Mhm.
And I had to go to a neurologist, and he gave me 3 other beta blockers and 2 other medications. And that's the day that everything changed for me, because I said, I can't do this. I'm too sensitive. What I, oh, I can't live on these medications. So I got them from the pharmacy, but I threw them away. And I fell on my knees and cried and said, Dear God, help me to live.
And what happened after that?
Well, God didn't answer me the next day. So it took him a few days or a few months, but eventually I was led to a wonderful healer who was trained as a chiropractor, but does more work than that. And so he was bringing my body back to me. It took several years, but little by little, my heart healed, my brain traumas healed. But also, I did nutrition, like you said. I start juicing. I've been juicing vegetables for 20 years. And you can take all the vitamins in the world, but there's nothing like fresh vegetable juice, not fruit. I'm talking vegetables. So if you want to mention anything to anyone, vegetable juicing is the secret of health.
Mhm. I
One,
do.
there's many things you can do, but vegetable juicing, there's nothing like it.
Yeah,
And I still do that today.
that's awesome.
Um, and the mainly is just I'm not talking about going to the gym. I'm just talking about doing walking exercises, but it's really find a physical therapist person who can align your body properly. I know there's
Mhm.
many disciplines out there, but
There are. Is that something
that's
you're?
what you need to put your physical body in health.
Mhm.
And there are people that can do things that you don't believe can happen, but you have to help them out by doing the vegetables. I am not a vegetarian. I eat meat. I had just had a hamburger yesterday, but I'm very cautious on what I do eat, and that's very important to me. And also the emotional work, and that's how I came to learn about shame and guilt. I did not know about shame and guilt until someone mentioned that to me, and I went, "That's an odd word. What is that?" And so I went to the library. Okay, in those days you go to the library, you don't go to the internet. So I went to the library, and when I looked at shame and guilt, I found out that it's low self-esteem, feeling to be a victim, always down on myself. And I go, oh my goodness, I never knew that those symptoms were shame. And though I developed a process where I myself could release the shame that I took on as a child, could release it. And then I found myself healing even more, because I
Wow.
learned that shame and guilt is an energy. It's not an emotion. It's an energy that attacks our body and distorts it, like we were talking about, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And
Mhm.
we can take it out of our bodies and release it to the universe. But we have to find it first.
Mhm.
So that's where I am. I help people to find the shame and guilt they took on, how to release it, and then their body starts to heal. But the trick is not to take any more on. So there's a lot of learning, and that's where I am at this point. And today, this is 20 years I've been working with it, and I still find the shame and guilt that people try to put upon you, and you give upon them too. We have a culture of shame. So I would say the biggest healing is when I discovered that shame and guilt was the major cause of my anxiety, my depression, my headaches, my fears, my victimhood, you name it.
So your health really took a turn for the better, not just when you started seeing a chiropractor and getting some alternative type treatments where he was also aligning your body. You had better nutrition, you started juicing vegetables, and then identifying this shame and guilt in you.
That I carried from 1-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old.
That young, huh?
So we have an inner family with inside of us. We have an anxiety part, we have a depression part, we have a happy part, we have a sad part. And they're the parts that I work with to release the shame that we carry. We can go back, we can time travel, Mandi.
Mm-hmm.
We can time travel to our times when we had taken on things that we did not know.
By talking about it and reliving it a little bit as you talk about it.
Exactly. And then releasing it. And it's shame and guilt is an outside source. It's not human. So we can get rid of it because it's not of our personal human nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I help spread to people, that we're not supposed to carry it. It's not part of us, but we can get rid of it, but we have to find it first. It's like a detective.
That's amazing. And when it comes to finding it, what would you recommend for anybody watching now? What would you recommend for them to help try to find that in themselves?
Well, whenever a person feels depressed, lonely, victim, anxiety, fear, overwhelming, that's shame. Psychiatrists call it many names. It has like 4,000 names, but it's really shame.
Okay.
Find
Oh, we lost
just
you.
take it in their hand and throw it away. Just take it within them, their feeling, and throw it away. It's not of them. So that's what I would suggest. And whenever you have a conversation with the person and you feel like, I don't feel good after they talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were throwing shame upon you. So you need to not accept that. Say, if someone says a shameful remark to you, you can say, isn't that interesting? Don't go in battle. So say, isn't that interesting? Or say, can you say that another way?
That's a good tool. That's good. Good
And
advice.
if you just do that, it's good. Because you're saying, I don't accept it. But the nicer way to say is, isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting? And it just puts them like, oh my goodness, I can't throw my shame on her. Oh, I don't know what to do.
They're taken aback, huh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much fun. Really, after a while, it's like a fun game.
That's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. So you shared with us how you overcame these challenges, and I'll take it as you don't really have any of these issues anymore, the migraines.
Oh, I have no more migraines. Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you. However, I'm still working with shame and guilt because we live on a planet of shame and guilt, and they catch me, but I go, okay, I got it.
You know how to deal with it now.
Exactly. And I know about it. The main thing, and that's another reason why I wanted to live. Finally, at my age, I know how to interact with people and don't get upset and don't cry and don't feel bad and, oh my God, what did I do wrong now? I'm so excited. I want to live and live because now I know how to live. It took me all these years to figure it out. It's so exciting. It's so exciting to live now because I know the game. And
Yeah.
it's a game. That's all it is. It's a game. They never told me that when I was 20 or 30.
Yeah, you gotta figure things out for yourself sometimes.
And it takes a long time. So I really want to live a long, happy life.
But you had so much healing from it, and so that is wonderful. I love hearing these stories and that's exactly what I'm trying to feature here. people going through certain health challenges, no matter what type of challenge they are, whether it be physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, and overcoming them.
There's always hope. Hope is what shame takes away. If I can say anything, that would be what I would love to leave with people. The only thing that will take your hope away is shame, because shame makes you feel like you're not deserving of hope.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mandi, keep spreading the hope.
You
Keep
too,
spreading the
Lois.
hope, and don't let shame take you down, because shame is not of us. We are born with it, but it's our job to release it.
Now, do you have, for those of us that, like myself, that want to learn more about this and how you present this, where can we go for more information on this to learn more about this?
I have a website, loishollis.com.
And I'll put a link to that at the bottom of
Sure.
this.
And send me an email with your questions. I wanted to let you know that I went to film school, and I created a DVD of this process.
Oh, okay. So you have a DVD available. Okay.
On YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
It's about 20 minutes, and it's very inspirational.
And we can put a link to that up as well?
Yes, you can.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Awesome.
And I have just begun to make my film a full-length feature. It's so exciting. Oh, it'll take 2 years or so, but I'll do it.
Awesome. I really look forward to that. So, well, Lois, you shared so many wonderful things about yourself and your journey with us today. I'm so grateful for you sharing this and providing hope for myself and everyone else out there. And just
don't let shame take it away.
I love what you do. I love that.
Don't let shame take my hope away. It isn't the government. It isn't your mother. It isn't your father. It's shame that takes your hope away.
And I will quote you on that. I'll make like a cute little thing and post it.
Yeah, because that's the truth. Don't blame it on your mother. It's shame.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down with us today.
I honor your service.
I honor yours, Lois.
Okay.
And thank you everyone for joining us for another episode of My Healthy Story. And I will put all those links up that Lois was mentioning. And I look forward to seeing you next time.